Good morning. Okay, great. Here we are. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today is day 6 of the 2026 Abundance Activation. So glad that you are joining us here today. Let's get us live on Instagram as well. We are live on TikTok. We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. All right, this is day 6. Let's go ahead and get this party started.
Year, I decided that I was going to do the Steve Harvey 300 challenge. I started the list, but I'm not even nowhere near 300 at all. And then every time I think about something, I go ahead and jot it down. And today I was reading over everything, and something in me just told me to say, I will. Because at first when I started, I started with, I want to da 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 da. I want da 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 da. But now I went back and I changed everything to I will. I will be a successful business owner. I will have a successful hair business. I will make 6 figures this year. I will do everything that I said I'm going to do. The power of the tongue is so powerful, and I'm just living in such a surreal moment that I can't even believe that I'm even doing this. Look what I just received in the mail today. Like, it got my real name on there, so I can let y'all see that. But do y'all see that? I've just been putting in the work and praying and putting in the work and praying and putting in the work and praying and putting in the work.
To know that the way that you and your interns have set up this intentional help people get to their 300 things list is spot on. I've done this with you the past 2 years. This is my 3rd year, and I don't remember what I got the first year, but the second year I got 125. I was not able to join every day that you went live, but so far, so good. I have joined Sunday, Monday, today, Tuesday, 3 days. I am already at 132. I am already at 132. I have already surpassed last year's total, and I've only engaged these 3 days. I still have days to engage. I am probably gonna get to the 300 things, and I'm blowing my own mind. You have blown my mind. Your T3IP interns have blown my mind. This has been amazing. And anyone out there who hasn't given it a try, just do it. What are you waiting for? Why not ask God for more? He's waiting on you.
Exercise I want you to do. This gonna trip you out. Write everything you want from God on a piece of paper. Be as detailed as you can.
When you write it down, there are things that will conspire in the universe to make it happen, to bring it into expression.
This is your sign to get after it. I don't care what, I literally do not care what your excuse is. Like,
first of all, this thing is super hard to write 300 things.
The problem is not that you ask for too much. It is that you ask for too little.
I did that, and when I say my life has changed, and it's so beautiful when I get to the end of the year to see how much things came into fruition.
And the amount of things that have been checked off is quite insane, and my favorite one being is at least having 10 acres of land. And tell me how, November of 2023, we closed on a house.
I will do everything that I said I'm going to do.
Out of the 300 things, God has blessed me with 109.
No matter how big, no matter how small, ask for it all.
And I got all those 3 things in one. So this is real.
Make it plain and clear and be specific, because it will happen for you.
At minimum, 10% of your list to come true. You know how I know? Because I know a lot of people that done it. But you know how I really know? Because I did it.
Even if this is your first time ever hearing about it, it's no coincidence. It's time for you to have the life that you envision. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 6 of the 2026 Abundance Activations. I am Shamika Cotton. I welcome you wherever you are joining us from, whether you're joining us on TikTok, whether you're joining us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. You are welcome here. You are in good company. Everybody here is all about making sure 2026, right? It's all about making sure 2026 has abundance in the mix. I'm still kind of working on the phrase for 2026, but I think we've got abundance in the mix for 2026. We've got abundance in the mix for 2026. Okay, folks. All right. But I am so glad that you are here. Let me know, how has this experience been going for you? How have you all been doing? Good morning, Britt Allen, tapping in all the way from Albuquerque. Where are you all tapping in and joining in and activating from? I'm activating right now from Cleveland. I am home for the holidays. Did you all have a Merry Christmas? Did you all have a Merry Christmas? Are you all enjoying this holiday season? If you are not enjoying this holiday season, I send you so much love, but I also challenge you to enjoy this holiday season, right? Because before you know it, we'll be starting that new year. And there is still some good to be gotten out of this holiday season. Good morning, the Kingford Show. Welcome to the 2026 Abundance Activations. We got Jamil is activating in Orlando. Abundance is being activated right now in Orlando. Okay, where are you activating your abundance right now? You know what? I am so in love with this thing that we have going on, this movement of abundance, this movement of positivity, this movement of inspiration. And I'm so glad to be able to bring this to everyone, to hold this space so that we all can tap in and come together, right? We're other like-minded people who believe in this abundance, who believe in positivity, who believe in, whether it's God, universe, law of attraction, who believe that we can be co-creators of our lives and our experiences. I'm so glad to be able to hold this space. We got Toyette activating her abundance in Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome. Sands, did you see your video I shared this morning? Did you get a chance to see that today? We wanted to highlight that amazing testimonial that Toyette shared, where she has been doing this for 3 years. For 3 years, this is her 3rd year joining us. And this year, she has gotten further than she's ever gotten. And that should be a testimony to someone, to inspire someone to know that, guess what? Just do it. Just do the work. Just start writing your list down. You may not get to 300 this year, right? But that's okay. The principle, the law, it still works. What you write down, you manifest, right? What you write down, you set wheels in motion. Good morning, Marlon. Happy holidays to you and your family. What you write down, you set in motion invisible forces in the world, okay, in the universe, that start to draw those things to you. That is what happens when you start writing it down. If you are a student of the Bible, right, and you're into scripture, it talks about the power of writing things down in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 2 through 5, where it says, write down the vision, make it plain, it shall happen, right? And that's something that is what we're tapping into when we're writing things on our list, right? It doesn't matter whether or not you believe in it. That's how it works, right? Gravity still works whether or not you believe in it, right? Ask somebody and find out. Gravity still works, right? And so we're just tapping into that power for these abundance activations, doing it in a very fun way. And why do we say 300 things, right? So I've been doing this for 3 years. Really taking Steve Harvey up on the challenge of doing the exercise. Can we think of 300 things to ask for? And I had tried to do this many years before I actually succeeded. And I was having a hard time stretching my imagination to think of 300 things, right? I would get to 20, I would get to 30, 70, and then it would seem like it would just cap and I couldn't keep going. And so it wasn't until I decided to do it in community, right? And not only doing it in community, but breaking it down, right? That's one of the ways where when you have a big goal, one way to achieve that goal is to break it down into small, manageable steps. Black Woman Stand Account, welcome over on TikTok. We take that big goal and we break it down to small, manageable goals, right? And so that's what we've been doing over the course of the past 6 days. Tomorrow is day 7. Tomorrow is the last day. But guess what? It doesn't have to be the last day for you. Whether or not you get up to 300, I challenge you to keep going, okay? I want to inspire you to keep going, to keep asking for more, right? There's an adage that goes, it's not that you ask for too much, it's that you ask for too little, right? There's also a scripture that says you have not because you ask not. And one of the ways, Glow Getter, that we ask for more is by writing them down. So many times we go through our days and we see things like, oh, I want that. I want to experience that. I want to go there. I want to have this house. I want to have that car. I want to have that relationship. I want to be married, right? I want to do this or that, right? And they're just thoughts in our mind. But one way to get them out of our mind and into our actual lived experience is to start writing them down. And that's what we've been doing over the past 6 days. So welcome to those who are just joining us. If you are new here, right, and I just happened to come down your timeline, you must have been asking for a way to activate more abundance in your life, right? It is no coincidence that you have drawn me to your timeline, all right? So welcome, welcome, welcome. So on day 1, we talked about how when we dream big, we open ourselves up to unimaginable heights. When we dream big, we realize that our dreams are not just for us. The things that we write down on our list is for us to gift to the world. One of the things that I wrote on my list at the end of 2023, going into 2024, was to be a paid professional public speaker. And on day 1 of the 2026 Abundance Activations, I was walking out that item from my list. Okay. I kid you not. I wrote it down. But guess what? Guess how it first showed up, right? Because remember, I wrote it down at the end of 2023, but it started to show up. It started to take root. It started to sprout in 2024 when I happened to find myself at a conference, the Gold Rush Women's Conference. And I met a woman there by the name of Deborah Parrish. And she said, Shamika, I want to invite you to join our Toastmasters group. Join our Toastmasters group. And there, from joining that Toastmasters group, I was able to start working on being a public speaker. I started working on writing my speeches, working on delivering my speeches, right? And that's going to be a part of what we're going to talk about today, right? Today, we're going to talk about what are some of those baby steps that we can take? What is that inner work that we can do? We'll come back to that today. But that's what we realized on day 1 was that the things that we write down on our list, they're not just for us. There are people waiting for you to step into your dream. They're waiting for you to say, yes, I will set about doing the work to make that dream happen by writing it down. On day 2, we focused on looking at the different areas of our lives, right? Making sure that we had a well-rounded list, right? So we focused on health. We focused on finances. We focused on relationship, career, right? We took time to just focus on one area at a time because we wanted to make sure that our list was well-rounded. We want a balanced life, right? We don't want to just add all things related to career to our list, but we haven't added anything related to health, right? Because you can have a thriving career, right? But if your health isn't good, you can't enjoy it, right? And even dare I say, if your health isn't good, maybe you can't even get that thriving career, right? We don't want to have a list that's all focused on finances, right? But our relationship with family and friends is lacking, right? So that's what we did on day 2. We looked at the different areas of our lives and we made sure that we added things to our list so that we can make sure that we have something that is well-rounded, that we are adding things that will fall under those categories. On day 3, we did something a little different, right? Instead of writing during our 10-minute and 10-second activation, we expressed our deepest wants and desires through drawing. Day 3's episode was called Dream a Doodle Doo. And so we took some time to doodle. We took an item that was on our list and we grabbed some paper and we started to just doodle and draw around that item. And what happened for me was I started to see that, oh my gosh, this thing that I thought was one little image, as I continued to doodle, the vision became clearer. I started to see other details that were attached to that vision. And that allowed me to add extra items to my list, right? So where I may have thought I only had one thing, I actually had 20 things, right? And so now I'm reaching that goal of adding 300 things to my list. And then on day 4, we removed the guilt of scrolling on social media. We use social media for good. We did some intentional scrolling on Instagram where we looked for inspiration. Sometimes when we look at things happening on Instagram or social media platforms, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, we see someone else's highlight reel, and sometimes it makes us feel bad, right? Like we are not living our best life. So what we did was we took a moment and said, whatever I see, if it's something that inspires me, I'm going to remember to write it down on my list. For those on TikTok, maybe you saw someone on your scroll that is an amazing content creator. So that's me. So I wrote down, I post consistently. I make amazing content, right? It gave me inspiration of what to write down. And yesterday, day 5, we had a jammingly good time. Okay. Yesterday, we came together and curated a playlist that helped us get into the mood to dream big and ask for more in 2026, right? We looked at the different areas of our life and we found a song that corresponded to the different areas, right? We looked at romance, we looked at career, we looked at lifestyle, right? We looked at health, and we found a song for each of those categories. And then we played the song and we allowed the song and the music to gently stir us up on the inside and to give us ideas. And I had a really good time. If you did that yesterday, let me know, how was that? Did you keep that going? Good morning, Rhonda Crowder. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's right. We had a curated playlist. And I know that Bum Loves Me was here yesterday adding to the songs. Tavion was here over here on Instagram adding to the songs. And so if you missed any of those episodes, don't fear. I got you, sweetheart. Go on over to youtube.com/Shamika Chronicles and you can catch the replays. Java, God, it's so good to see you here. Janata Jones is in the house. So good to see you. So glad to see you are tapping in on day 6 of the 2026 Abundance Activations. We got Brees in the building coming in just to hold this space with us because Brees actually finished her 300 things list on day 2. Once she got started, she couldn't stop. And that's what it's about. This is why we start the abundance activations in the morning, right? I'm here just to get you started so that as you go throughout your day, you will continue to add things to your list. If you've been following along, yesterday, by today, you should have 215 things on your list from yesterday. Now, by the end of today, you should be at 258, okay? By the end of today, by the end of day 6, okay? And so you can keep going after the activation today. Maybe at lunchtime, you're going to add some things to your list. Maybe you'll have another time early evening that you'll add some things to your list. Maybe at dinner time, Tina over on TikTok, you'll add things to your list. Maybe before bedtime, right? You'll add some more things to our list. But step by step, item by item, we are getting these things accomplished. So today we are going to focus on the inner work. That is what we are focusing on today. What characteristics do we need to shed? What qualities do we need to shed, or what qualities and characteristics do we need to gain in order to reach our potential? Because how we feel on the inside shows up on the outside, right? The outside, and I'm going to say this slow and take a moment for it to land, okay? The outside is a reflection of what's happening on the inside, okay? Somebody put that in the chat, okay? On TikTok, write it in the chat. On Instagram, write it in the chat, right? The outside is a reflection of the inside. When we think about just how we came into expression, we started on the inside of our mother's womb, right? Birth starts on the inside. We do that inner work first, and then we are on the outside, we are born. And that is the same that is true for ideas. When you plant a seed into the ground, you take an acorn, all of that work before it becomes the oak tree, what does it happen? It happens on the inside, and then it grows on the outside. So today, we're not just adding things to our list. We are going to look at adding the version of ourselves that can hold those things. Have you ever heard the phrase that for those who are students of the Bible, or maybe you've just heard it in different religious circles, God will not put more on you than you can bear. That does not just apply to bad things, okay? That applies to the good, right? So maybe you may have been experiencing a block on a goal that you've been wanting to achieve. Why haven't I gotten it yet? Because you need to build up the inner character so that when you do get it, you can sustain it with a positive mentality, right? So that when you do get it, you don't self-sabotage it, right? The universe wants you to enjoy every morsel of the goodness that it has in store for you, right? So today we want to make sure we're adding things to our list that focus on who do we need to become in order to joyfully and fully and cheerfully maintain and sustain the item or the goal on our list, right? So up until now, we've been talking about the experiences, the relationships, the opportunities, and abundance. But today, we are going to take a moment to slow down and ask a different question. Who do I need to become in order to live what I've already written down? Because every item on our list has a mindset attached to it, right? There's a saying, your talent can take you to a place where your character cannot sustain you. We don't want to have that situation. We want our character and our talent to work together. Every dream has a habit that supports it, and every result requires a version of yourself that knows how to receive it. So today, it's not about fixing ourselves. It's not about becoming someone else. It is about getting in alignment with the version of you that already has it. The one who follows through, right? Maybe that's something you put on your list. I follow through on the ideas that come to me. I set aside time to give time and space to the ideas that come to me, right? Maybe you write down, I trust myself more in 2026. How about the inner habit of I show up consistently? How do you show up consistently, right? So today we're going to look at our list and add things like habits we want to build. We're going to add things like beliefs that we're ready to adopt, right? Maybe we're going to add things about patterns that we're willing to release. Okay. I know we are going deep today. Somebody put in the chat, we're going deep today because we want the roots of our good to be deep. So when that tree sprouts up, it is a lavish tree that reaches to the highest heights, right? That's what we're doing today. We are going deep today because we don't chase what is on our list. No. We are growing into what is on our list, right? So when we think about the things we're adding to our list, right? The things that we desire, right? The things that we desire are attached to our identity, how we see ourselves, right? And how we see ourselves determines our very habits that we do, right? Do you see yourself as someone who is successful? Because if you see yourself as someone that is successful, you have the habits of a successful person. Do you see yourself as a rich, a lavishly abundant person? Because when you see yourself as that rich and lavishly abundant and prosperous person, then you have the habit of saving money. Then you have the habit of spending wisely. Then you have the habit of investing money, right? So if that is who you are saying that you are, then maybe one of the things you're going to write down is, I attend a class on learning how to invest my money. I attend a class that teaches me how to prepare for first-time home ownership. That's that inner work, right? That's those habits. Because what happens with the habits? Our habits start to determine our results. All right. So every result on our list, every desire on our list has a version of us that is attached to it. So today I'm going to set the timer. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm running a little long today, but I really wanted us to have a moment to understand this deep work, because this is really some of the most powerful work that we can do. Do you know that the words you speak about yourself, you become? That happened to me. When I started saying, I am a morning person, despite having a hard time being a morning person, I would write it down. I am a morning person. I love getting up early in the morning, despite how hard it was sometimes. I eventually became that person, right? So today, we're going to do this deep work, right? This is that rooted and grounded work, okay? And I'm going to start the timer, and I'll give you some prompts, right, that deal with the identity shifts that need to happen. I'm going to give you some prompts that deal with mindset and belief work habit formation. I'm going to give you some prompts that help you to write down things to your list that help you release old patterns. I'm going to give you some things to add to your list that help you do better emotional regulation and capacity. I'm going to give you some things on your list that deal with self-trust and discipline. Let me know if you're ready to get started. Right into the chat. I'm ready to go deep today. I'm ready to go deep today. Write that in the chat. Let me know if you are ready to go deep today. Stella, it's so good to see you today. We got Positive Images 360 says we're going deep today. Yes, we are. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get my timer started. I'm going to give us a little bit of music, but let me turn this heat off, y'all, because it was cold and I got all worked up. And now I'm ready. I'm ready. We are going to deep today. Yes. Bum Loves Me wrote, who do I need to become to achieve these dreams? That is the question that today's abundance activation is asking. Who do I need to become to achieve these dreams? Yes, yes, and yes. All right. So let me go ahead. We're going to get a little bit of mood music going. I believe it's this one. Yes, it's that one. All right. The timer has begun. Go ahead and get your journal and your notebook as we begin. The first question I have for you, we're going to spend some time on, is shifting our identity. Who would already be living this dream, this goal? Who? And allow that who, as you envision that person, whatever you see them doing, write it down. How does that version of yourself move through the day? Maybe that version of yourself has a morning routine. I have a morning routine that I love. Come on. I have an evening routine that I love. We're shifting our identity, folks. We're shifting our identity to an abundance identity. What do they no longer tolerate? What do they no longer tolerate? How about this one as we shift our identity? What do they prioritize without guilt? Let's write it down. Let's take a moment. We're adding things to our list. We're not becoming someone new. We are remembering who we are. Let's go. I just thought of something I prioritize. I'm going to prioritize a massage at least once a month. Okay, that's my business. Somebody, you might want to put that on your list too. Take care of your body, Temple. All right. We're adding things to our list. We're shifting our identity. Self-care. Write it down. That's how you start to make room for it. We're adding things to our list. Now let's think about mindset and belief work. Let's think about mindset and belief work. What would you have to believe in order for your vision or your dream or your goal to be possible? What would you have to believe? Write that down. Item on your list. We are rewiring and rewriting our very belief systems. What belief would you need to soften? Or what belief would you need to strengthen? What story are you ready to release? I release the story that abundance is inconsistent. I release the story that when things are going good, something bad is bound to happen. Release it. Write down what you release. Put it on your list. What truth would this version of you live by? We are adding things to our list. Maybe you write down, I trust myself in 2020. I trust myself more. I allow myself to take up space. Maybe get more specific. I allow myself to take up space where I work. I trust the ideas that I have at work and I share them confidently. Maybe we're releasing the habit of rushing. I release rushing in 2026. We're adding things to our list. We're going deep. Let's go. Beliefs are just habits of thought, and habits can change. Write it down. Speaking of habits, let's look at habits. What is one small habit that this version of you practices? I know one habit. I journal daily. I take time to plan weekly. I do morning movements, morning stretches every morning, because if you don't use it, you lose it. Talk about mobility and flexibility. What does consistency look like for you? What would that version of you do even on low energy days? What would you do? What support systems do you have in place to support that version of you that you see? If you're an entrepreneur, running your own company, running your own business, what support systems do you need to write down so that you can have them? You're thinking about growing your business? Write down the support systems to help your business grow. What do you need? Do you need a lawyer now? You need an accountant now, a bookkeeper? Think about it. We're adding things to our list. Remembering that habits don't need to be dramatic. They just need to be repeated. Bars. Okay. I can't help myself. We're writing things down. Let's go. All right. Let's look at releasing old patterns. What would this version of you stop doing? What would they no longer explain or justify? That's what we're releasing. Write it down. You want to release it? Write it down. But what are you releasing in 2026? What would they say no to? You can also reframe it. What would they say yes to? What energy drains are you letting go of? Because becoming also means letting go. Let's go. Woo, this time is flying. We only got like 30 seconds to go. Let's add some more things to our list. Okay. Nice. We took time and added things to our list of 300 things. Day 6 in the books. And just to give you all a few more that we could have done some things that we didn't get to about emotional regularity and capacity, thinking about what emotional muscles do you need to strengthen, right? How does this version of you handle discomfort? Just a couple more things for you to think about as you go throughout your day and you're thinking about this inner work, right? As we're focusing on the inner person today. How does that person that you envision respond when things don't go perfectly? Right? When we're looking at the area of self-trust and discipline, right? How does this version of you speak to themselves? What does follow through look like? Right? When you're doing self-trust and discipline, right? Discipline is simply devotion in motion, right? So that's what we've been focusing on today. Y'all, let me know how did it go for y'all? How was going deep for you all today? Planting those seeds that we want to grow deep roots, because we got big dreams. And we want to have the roots that can sustain our dreams, Ron Chapman, welcome, right? We want those roots to go deep so that it can sustain every bit of fruit that is a result of the seeds we are planting on our 300 things list, right? So remember, we don't chase what is on our list. We grow into it. We become a vibrational match to it. We get in alignment with it. Because the reality is this list isn't waiting on the universe or waiting on God. God is responding on who you are becoming. God is waiting for you to say yes. The universe is waiting for you to say yes. I will finally take action on that dream, on that vision. Your dreams are waiting for you to recognize them. All right. So this has been an amazing day 6. I still have things, that I need to write down to catch up for today's number, right? So I hope that you all will continue today to add things to your list, right? To do the work so that you don't miss this moment that we're having right now. Tomorrow is going to be day 7, the last day for the 2026 Abundance Activation. So maybe you want to invite a friend to join you on the last day, right? Or you can invite a friend to have a watch party of the replays. That's a thing. But wherever you are, if you are joining me on TikTok, don't forget to hit that daily heart me. Don't forget to subscribe or to follow me on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscription bell and that notification bell so you can know every time that I go live, right? But I thank you all so much for joining us on this journey of these abundance activations. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing some reflecting with gratitude. We're going to be thinking about gratitude tomorrow. So you do not want to miss it. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow. And we'll be doing that during the Saturday morning tap-in. Tomorrow is Saturday already. And so tomorrow, Saturday morning tap-in, we'll be focusing on gratitude. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Shamika Chronicles. All right. Remember, a little bit of intentionality goes a long way. Bye on TikTok. I'll see y'all later. And bye for now on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I thank you all so much. Yes. Bum Loves Me says that going deep was necessary. Yes. And Rhonda, right. Make my massage appointments for the entire year. That's something to write down on my list. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.